So we're picking back up with Obsidian Heart's lyrics, which are really where the stories start to get elaborate. At this point of the demo, this is where I was getting into the groove of writing songs, and by then I was really trying to push the limits when it came to writing or creating images with words. So this song does contain some of my favorite lines that I've written so far. The story of the song is about a volcanic eruption. It's ultimately a metaphor for a dying heart. That's where the title comes from. The song follows a ball of lava, so to speak, as it cools into an obsidian rock. We start off with this mythical Vulcan-like figure called the Creator, sort of a physical manifestation of the volcano, who uses the volcano, lives in it, and works it as his forge. As the story progresses, the title transitions to refer from the obsidian rock to his heart and ultimately that of the volcano itself. There's a lot of internal rhyme that I'm going to try and emphasize as I read through the lyrics. Let me just pull them up real quick. So it goes, "Forged in the heart of the creator looks in dismay, cast away the mistake to be erased from memory by time." So you have this creator who creates the obsidian heart but throws it away because there's some imperfection or something wrong with it, and this represents the volcanic eruption. After that we get time as it passes by, drenched by the tears of the earth. The seared flesh turns to ash as the life begins to end. So here, this set of lines is my favorite in the song. We have this hot lava that's getting rained on, it's drenched by the tears of the earth, which causes it to cool and turn black into obsidian. This resembles charred flesh, so we have the seared flesh turns to ash, and I think this is a really nice image that I really enjoy picturing. The lines come together really well here. There's some good rhyming with tears and seared, flesh and ash. And I really like how it builds this association between the lava and the obsidian, as well as this heart. And finally, there's just, this is one of the lyrical high points of the entire album, I would say. After that, Obsidian Heart, shrouded in darkness, but the fire inside still burns. Oblivion calls, the smoldering embers, slowly dying, but not yet dead. So this is the first chorus-ish, if I could say. It basically sums up the narrative of the song, the whole idea. We have this obsidian heart shrouded in darkness, but the fire inside still burns. So as the surface is dying and becoming charred, the inside's still molten and alive. It's just barely hanging on. After this, we go to the second verse. Lifeless on the surface, a shell black and cold. But if you crack the stone, blood flows still. This really just expands the idea of the chorus and the whole point that lava is a metaphor for running blood. As a child born without a pulse, a body devoid of a soul, once broken from the mold, it can never again be made whole. So the following line here, this is a bit more cryptic. The idea is that this process that's going on, this dying process, is irreversible, the cooling of the lava into obsidian, but it also traces a bit back to the beginning of the song, where the obsidian heart is discarded, and here we're playing off the double meaning of the word cast in the beginning, cast away the mistake, and also breaking the mold. Once broken from the mold, it can never again be made whole. And of course, earlier, the line before that, a body devoid of a soul, that's sort of talking about the mistake, the reason why this is thrown away. So we get to the second chorus. This starts off rhyming in parallel with the first one. Obsidian heart, trapped in a carcass, rotting away as the hourglass flows. So shrouded in darkness for trapped in a carcass, and this is just the idea of the hourglass sort of presents that time is flowing in one direction and we're almost running out. The next line is one of my favorites as well, another one of my favorite lines in the song. It's a great metaphor, I think. It goes, Circadian world in constant decay, beating to the rhythm of a riderless swing. So we take this hourglass and we take it to another sort of measure of time, like a circadian world. Think about a clock in constant decay, beating to the rhythm of a riderless swing, so a pendulum that's gradually settling until it finally stops and ends. After this, we have the whole lead section where we transition to the very end. So we get to the final verses of the song. Alone at the heart of the crater, the creator would finally see that he indeed had made a mistake as the forsaken creation was lost. This resembles the very opening verse, so it's sort of some parallel writing here. We're back to the creator, who at this point realizes that he didn't create a mistake with the Obsidian Heart, but instead he made a mistake by throwing it away. So far beyond reclaim, the pain was too much to bear, sharing this fate with the world, tearing the fabric of time. So the heart is sort of, in a way, tied to himself, and now in his regret, everything starts to fall apart. This leads to the idea of the volcano itself, causing the earth to bleed, weeping out crimson tears. It ruptured, erupting with force, filling the soul with remorse. This sort of describes the volcano as it's erupting one last time. Again, we have this association between blood and lava as it's weeping out crimson tears. The word that's performed in the song is tears, but you can also read it. If you were just looking at the lyrics, you could also see it as blood weeping out of crimson tears in the earth. And then finally, we get to this. It ruptured, erupting with force, filling the soul with remorse, fueling the fire within, burning his spirit, splitting the fissure apart, turning his heart into stone. So while we started off talking about the volcano, at this point we've transitioned to reference the heart of the creator as himself as he dies and it becomes the Obsidian Heart. So we have 3 Obsidian Hearts in the song. The ball of lava that cools, we have the volcano itself which erupts and becomes inactive, and finally the heart of the creator. And that final line, I think, is just a very good summary of everything, turning his heart into stone. So from a lyrical standpoint, I'd say that this is one of the strongest songs in the album. Musically, it's not so original, as I mentioned before. A lot of the ideas were borrowed from other songs, but I do like how everything comes together in the end. This is one of the songs that I'm really proud of. It's not one that I listen to a lot, although we are getting into the point where, we're getting into my favorite songs, the back half of the demo. But really, here's where I started my obsession with lyrical depth. The whole idea, going from being a guitar player who just likes to write riffs and play solos, and just really sort of becoming more and more obsessed with writing lyrics, writing really strong lyrics and detailed stories, which you'll see as I get into the next 2 songs.